Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. I got on that rookie Bosa jersey, so I'm happy about today's win. But I wanted to do a video on fresh fragrances that you can wear in the fall. So if you're somebody like me that's always kind of looking or occasionally looking for that ray of sunshine on a cloudy, gloomy day, these fragrances are going to carry. And just a quick warning, I'm still very much under the weather, so if you hear me breaking out into like a coughing fit, fast forward the video by like 10 seconds and we should be cool. All right, so on this list we got unisex, feminine, and masculine, and we're gonna start with Gentle Fluidity Silver by MFK. Now this used to be my favorite MFK fragrance because not only was it fresh, but it's very unique. I get a really nice icy cool sort of vibe from this fragrance. If you've ever played Mortal Kombat, I've said this so many times, it kind of reminds me of Sub-Zero. And I don't want to say it smells like ice, but there's something about it that's just really, really refreshing. And this is a scent you definitely do not smell when you're out in public. This is still a fragrance that's relatively unknown in terms of public opinion or like, you know, the public's knowledge of fragrances. For the most part, when people think of this house, they think of Baccarat Rouge. But Gentle Fluidity Silver is like a sneaky, amazing fragrance. You know what I mean? It's something that's still under the radar into the public, but when you wear it around people, they're like, oh, damn, that smells really good. This gets a lot of neck-turning type of reactions. It does linger in the room that you're in when it's on you, and it's just like, it is a really good compliment getter. I remember when I wore this, it's just hard to not smell it. You know what I mean? So a great, great fragrance. We are talking about over 8 hours of performance. Gentle Fluidity Silver, anybody can wear it. And the kind of vibe I get from it is like a badass CEO type of vibe. You know what I mean? So if you got that sort of, you know, energy, then Gentle Fluidity Silver is just gonna easily suit you. Next is another unisex fragrance that goes a little bit more on the masculine side. And this is called Hachivat by Bleu de Chanel. Now, you might have to excuse my pronunciation with the brand name because I've pronounced this several different ways, and every single time somebody says that it's pronounced wrong and they're like, say it this way, then I'll pronounce it that way and then somebody else will critique it. So I'll leave that up in the air. But Hachivat is a beast. We are talking about over 24 hours of performance. And yes, when I applied this fragrance, I did shower. I did try to scrub this thing off so many times, but it just latches on my skin. It's the concentration is very, very strong. It smells like fresh pineapple in the opening, but the dry down goes a little bit more green. It is mossy. And some guys in particular have complained about it smelling moldy on their skin. Thankfully for me, I've never gotten that sort of smell before. This has been a huge, huge compliment getter whenever I've worn it. But that has been a flaw for some guys in particular. But yeah, a great freshy, nuclear fragrance. Seriously, like honestly, I don't wear this as much just because it's a bit too strong for me, you know? So it's just one of those things that can easily become headache inducing. But if you're somebody that got like nostrils of steel, then I think you're gonna like Hachivat. All right, I'll put the names of the fragrances, discount site links, and samples for global shipping all in the description if you want to support the channel and save some money. But of course, please buy where you're comfortable. Next is going to be the Queen Delena by Parfums de Marly. I can't make this list without talking about Delena because it just wouldn't be right. So Delena is a fragrance that performs easily over 12 hours. It smells like lychee. It's a feminine leading fragrance, in case I didn't say that in the beginning. But there's lychee and rhubarb. So it's this exotic, sexy, fruity, seductive fragrance with really, really good performance. I actually have a cousin that wears this, and she'll do about 2 sprays and she'll get back to me. She's like, I smell that on me the whole entire day. So great fragrance, really, really mass appealing here. one of my favorite offerings, like maybe a top 3 offering from Parfums de Marly, but gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. Now, if the OG isn't doing it for you, then you can get Delena exclusive, which is a more milky, creamy version that's better suited for fall and winter. But to me, I much rather prefer the versatility of the original. It just still smells really good and still cuts through cold weather. So Delena, Parfums de Marly. Next is a unisex fragrance that, in my opinion, goes more in the feminine direction. It's called Missing Person by Flirt. Gosh, here it goes. So Missing Person is a fragrance that I'm honestly not the biggest fan of, all right? But this scent, occasionally it can smell like fresh laundry, but then sometimes it smells a little bit mature. Like this is something that smells definitely a lot better on my mother. So if you're somebody maybe in your 40s, 50s, and you're looking for a nice, fresh scent that has white florals in it, I think you're gonna like Missing Person. Now, don't get this confused with a weak performing scent, because I will say it is pretty intimate. It's not something that pushes like crazy, but this lasts a long time. I was very surprised with how long this was lasting. And when my mom wore it one day, she would sit in this chair, and when she left, I could smell this fragrance in that general area for like a couple hours. You know what I mean? So Missing Person does linger, but it's not a loud fragrance. So for all of you kind of looking for that laundry, white floral type of scent, then give this one a shot. I will say that skin chemistry is huge here. Very, very big deal. Doesn't smell the same on everybody. I know I said it's more feminine leaning, but it could smell good on a guy's skin if you wanted to give it a shot. All right, next. Oof, man, I love this one from Mancera. It's called Sidra Rosé. And this fragrance is very fruity in the opening. Kind of reminds me of walking into Jamba Juice, not gonna lie. And then it has a woody base. So the dry down is woody. Oh, man, this scent, the thing is, I haven't worn it in a minute, right? But this is one of the few fragrances in my collection where when I do wear it next, I wear it for like the next 3 to 4 days straight, because I'm like, damn, I can't believe I haven't been wearing that. You know what I mean? So it definitely still has me in a chokehold. This is a unisex fragrance that goes a little bit more in the masculine direction, but this is a massive compliment getter when it comes to women. Every single time I have worn this around women, they just cannot get enough of this scent. So if you're a guy wearing this around a bunch of guys and you're not getting any sort of reaction, it's because this is sexier to the feminine nose, but it is something that pushes. This can be an obnoxious fragrance, and I have still smelled this on myself after 24 hours, after a shower, even when I was scrubbing, just because, similar to Hachivat, this just does not want to leave your skin. It wants to make sure that you get the performance you deserve, and it's a really, really great fragrance that does well in cold weather, any sort of weather. This is a dumb reach year-round fragrance that is going to put in the hours. It's going to perform really, really nicely, and it's got that mass appeal. So Sidra Rosé by Mancera. Let me just make sure that it's still recording. Sweet. All right. We're going to kick it over to one of my favorite fragrances to rock. It's Salt and Pepper by Precious Liquid. And I have been wearing this one very often. And even though it's been gloomy lately, I will guarantee, not guarantee, I promise you this is something that I will wear year round. Also because, no lie, in Southern California, the weather here is a bit one-dimensional. Like, it's probably going to be sunny, like in September and October occasionally, or more often than other places. But Salt and Pepper is a peppery fragrance with a touch of saltiness, all right? And then it has that ambroxan in the base that helps carry this fragrance. Now, this is a scent that you can go nose blind to, all right? There are people that wear this and they're like, it's gone, it disappears, blah, 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 blah. But ask people around you, and they should be able to smell this fragrance on you. You can overspray it if you are going to like outdoor sort of environments. But with my spray routine that I do, like the typical 5, like people still smell this fragrance on me. And again, Similar to Cedrat Blasé, this is a fragrance you get if you strictly want compliments from women. That's it. This is not what you get if you're just going to hang out with a bunch of guys and you want to get sexy reactions from men. No, this is something you get if you like women and you want to attract women. So Salt and Pepper, Precious Liquid. All right. I am going to mention a fragrance that has grown on me. It's called Percival from Parfums de Marly, and I used to not really care about this fragrance. This is more on the masculine side, but Percival is kind of like a grown-up version of Fierce by Abercrombie and Fitch. So think of that youthful, flirty, sort of summer love scent, but grown up. You know what I mean? Like that kid works in finance now. You know what I mean? Like that is like where they went to college, joined a fraternity, and now they're in finance. Why am I'm blanking on some words right now. But that is the whole vibe of Percival. It's a very fun fragrance, still very refined. I thought the performance on it wasn't the best the first time I wore it, but then the next time I was like, oh damn, this is pushing. And then I actually gifted this to my dad, and when he wears this, I'm like, damn bro, you smell really, really good. So this is a great freshie. Again, very mass appealing. And I think if you're looking into the house of Parfums de Marly and Leighton is a bit too sweet and you want a fresh offering that will last like 7-8 hours at least, then go Percival, because this is actually becoming probably their top seller like at Nordstrom. This is the one a lot of people gravitate to because they're like, oh damn, right off, like right from the beginning, it's something that you know is going to be very, very mass appealing. Okay. Now, I put this in the fall video in general, but I have to put it in the fresh fall video, Molecule 01 by Escentric Molecules. All right, this scent is ISO E super, so it depends on your skin chemistry with how this is going to smell, but it's a fragrance that's very intimate if you're not doing anything, but the second you get active, it starts to push off, and I just love this scent. Specifically, when I layer it with Elysium or Afternoon Swim, it helps the performance go even longer. But by itself, it's magical as well. So on me, this smells very clean and addictive. Some people, this smells like rust though. So you gotta be careful. It's a gamble that you have to be willing to take. You know, you have to try this one on your skin. You can't take somebody else's word for it, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, we're gonna kick it over to the designer side, and we're talking about a beautiful feminine fragrance here called Erza Absence, and this is one of my favorite Louis Vuitton fragrances. It smells like a luxurious bath. Literally think of a bougie bath with fresh rose petals and fresh jasmine petals, and you have this fragrance. Now, when I looked up this scent online before it arrived, this is my sister's bottle, by the way, I thought that it would not perform. A lot of people were complaining about the performance, but when my sister sprays this, she does like at max 4 sprays of this fragrance, I smell it on her all day. And then after several hours, when I go back into her room, I still smell this just lingering in her room. So this is something that is noticeable to people around you, but you yourself wearing this fragrance might go nose blind to it. Don't worry, that's normal for all fragrances for the most part. But yeah, this is just a really easy to like fragrance. It's very, I do get like a bougie bath, you know? It smells so good, and who doesn't like smelling clean? You know, if somebody complains about you smelling clean, you probably don't want to be around that person, because that's some weird shit. All right, now I am going to talk about a masculine scent here that's probably the most popular men's cologne on the planet. Oh no, Dior Sauvage, and then this one. But Bleu de Chanel has great performance. I mean, it has over 8 hours. This is the EDT concentration, and it smells like grapefruit. I think there's ambroxan in this. It definitely has a push to it, but it's like this fruity, timeless, classic sort of scent that you can dress up or you can dress down. I don't have to say too much about Bleu de Chanel because a lot of you have already smelled this, and if you haven't, you can literally walk into any Ulta, Sephora, Macy's. You'll see this at the front. Like, this will be like the first fragrance that you see. Smell it, test it on your skin, see how you like it, and then you should be fine. All right. You know, this is going to be this might be an unpopular opinion, but I am going to put Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Intense in here because this is the women's, by the way. It smells like lemon, apple, and musk, but I get over 8 hours of performance with Light Blue Intense. With the OG Light Blue, I get about a couple, like maybe 4 hours, but this one, double. So I really, really do like this. Gorgeous fragrance, very unisex. So please, if you are thinking about getting Light Blue Intense for men, reconsider and get the women's because it's just way sexier, all right? But, oh gosh, this fragrance takes me back. I got a lot of memories with this one right here. And you know what? I will wrap this up with maybe another unpopular opinion here. But Prada Lhomme EDT, because I haven't tried the Parfum, or the EDP concentration, please don't start coughing. But this is another like fancy laundry sort of smell. It smells like luxurious fabric softener, honestly. And it just reminds me of like a head honcho, like somebody that owns a business, another like other CEO type of vibe, similar to Gentle Fluidity Silver, but it's like a sexy professional type of fragrance. Now, even though this has iris in it and it's a floral and you think it's not going to last, it's a fragrance that actually performs pretty decently. I have gotten over 7 to 8 hours of performance with this fragrance and it's very noticeable. It isn't a scent that stays close to you. And yes, even though this is the EDT and it has different flankers, I still think that this is underrated in terms of wearing it in the fall. You can easily wear this fragrance in the fall when you're going to work. People are going to smell it. Well, you know what? Be careful wearing this to work, even though it's a sexy professional fragrance, right? Just go easy on the trigger with this fragrance because it can perform really well to a point that it might irritate your coworkers. So yes, this is a nice work fragrance, but just be cautious with the sprays, especially if you're in a high riser and people can't open up windows. You might suffocate somebody with this scent. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll put the names of the fragrances in the description with the discount site links, global shipping, samples, all of that sort of stuff if you want to support the channel. But please buy where you're comfortable. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.